There's been a transformation going on in downtown Des Moines, which was celebrated yesterday at a ribbon-cutting ceremony opening the newly renovated Polk County Courthouse. And I understand it is absolutely beautiful. Polk County Administrator John Norris and OPN Architects Associate Principal Joe Feldman are here to tell us what went into this restoration of the courthouse and other upgrades that are going on in the judicial system. Thanks so much for being here.
Good to be here.
Thanks.
Well, John, we'll start with you. We're going to talk about the architecture in a minute, but why was this project so important? The rehab, it's really about the function of it, is that right?
It is. People need to realize this courthouse was built in 1906 when there was not nearly as much population in Polk County. And it served us well for decades, but frankly, it kept becoming a hodgepodge of our county needs. We used to have all county government there. And so just to service our judicial needs, now that we have the Juvenile Justice Center and the criminal courts and this courthouse, which will do largely civil and litigation and probation and stuff like that, it creates a much more functional judicial system for Polk County residents and makes us more efficient. To me, we're leasing space. Hard for people to track where to go for what, and now we have just a real functional judicial access for Polk County residents.
And Joe, we mentioned this is a 116-year-old building. I would imagine the undertaking was pretty big, is that right?
Yeah, I think there's an assumption that these things happen quickly. As you mentioned, this has been a decades-long project. Some of the master planning's been going on for 10 years, but over the past 5 to 6 years, we've been working on this project in some form. It's been multiple phases. We've had to keep them running inside of the building the entire time we're doing construction. So that was a bit of a challenge, but the original building only had 6 courtrooms. At the time that we took it over, there's 29 functioning courtrooms. They had cut apart 4 of the large historic courtrooms into like 4 small courtrooms. It was definitely a hodgepodge of court and systems, and safety and security became a real issue. So the undertaking was fairly significant. We spent a lot of time up front doing research, historic research, to get to some of the results that we found today.
And I understand you even found some gems hidden in there.
Yeah, we did. One of the things that we found up front on that initial kind of discovery investigation phase was all the original ceilings of the 4 major courtrooms up on 3rd floor. They're double-heighted space. Well, over time they had put in drop ceilings, multiple levels of drop ceilings. These spaces hadn't been seen in about 50 years. So when we were able to actually get up and get above some of the ceilings, tear all that out and fully restore all the historic plaster work, lighting, that was a huge transformation for those courtrooms.
Yeah, and we're seeing some of those pictures. We just saw the ceilings a moment ago. It looked amazing. This is really part of becoming an entire campus now, is that right?
It is, because you have your juvenile court system across the street now. What used to be a couple of different businesses, and so part of the bond referendum was to enable the county to acquire that and create the criminal court system across the street to the west. And now having this restored courthouse, it creates a central point for Polk County residents for our entire judicial system. Yeah, it's like a campus now, but like I said, very easy to navigate, very accessible. And this is just Joe's team and the Newman construction team and all the contractors just did an incredible job restoring this.
Well, and I can't wait to see it. We're seeing more of the entire campus there, and I guess we can all go check this out now that the ribbon cutting ceremony has taken place, huh?
I hope the public will.
Absolutely. It's definitely going to be worth a stop.
Well, thank you so much for being here to share this with us today. We so appreciate it. And for more information, just log on to polkcountyiowa.gov. You can also follow Polk County on Facebook and Twitter.